In every bull market, we see a massive trend in a particular narrative, a surge in GameFi, a surge in DeFi. And I've figured out exactly how to know which of these areas is going to be surging next. Using just a few free tools, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it in this video. As well as that, if you can stay around to the end, I'm going to show you one or two of my favorite picks in those narratives going forward. So make sure you hit the like button and let's get into today's video. I showed you this in the video I made earlier on from Jake Gordon, who's got a phenomenal YouTube channel. You should definitely go and check that out. And this is talking about the different phases of a crypto bull market. Now, what we are seeing right now, in my opinion, is phase one. Okay, we've had a surge already in Bitcoin. It's gone a bit quiet, but I think we're going to see that happening again. Then we move down the line and we go into like phase two and then into the large caps and alt season. So what we need to understand is going forward, after these big moves happen, where is the money going to flow? Because the money is going to flow from Bitcoin and Ethereum into particular projects. And we can identify the narratives that are behind those projects, then we know exactly where we should be putting our money. Well, as you're probably aware, and I've told you in the last few videos, if you've been subscribed, which you absolutely should be, guys, the large money is what drives markets. Right now, you're seeing smart money getting into the game. You will start to see venture capital, big money, start to arrive in after that. The markets will still remain a little bit quiet until the big money's ready to move it. They'll then make the signals, you'll start to see pumps, and then everyone else will start to FOMO in, driving up the prices of charts. So what is it that we need to pay attention to? Well, we need to pay attention to the big money. Why is that? The big money can see the trend before it's about to happen. They will know what they're looking for, and they are looking for mass adoption. Mass adoption is still what we need in cryptocurrency. Mass adoption means not just you and me sitting looking at computer screens, being a bit nerdy and talking about crypto, and being the boring guy at the pub who no one cares about because all you talk about is Bitcoin and Solana and whatever else. But once everyone is just common knowledge and talks about crypto, and they might not even talk about crypto, but they might be using it and not even realize they're using it. That is mass adoption. When your parents, your grandparents, and your mates down the road talk about use crypto for something. And the big money knows where this mass adoption is going to happen. You might not know, but we can follow the big money to identify what they are identifying as the trends that will be the mass adoption. And what that really means, to simplify it, is they've identified where the most growth is going to be coming from, and they're starting to put their money into these areas. And if we can follow them, follow the breadcrumbs, well, guess what, guys? You, me, and everyone in my YouTube community, which is growing all the time, are going to see some great gains too. So what we need to do, guys, is come across to cryptorank.io. What we can see is crypto fundraising. Now, what we can see, guys, over the last couple of years is the blue growth, okay? VCs, whatever, they start to enter into markets when we get bull runs, things going on. Right now, we can see that we had a really big surge in March of this year. And that was because Bitcoin surged towards the upside. It kind of falsely threw everyone into the markets and everyone got excited. So we can identify what the crypto funds were investing in around March and into April. And right now it's a bit quiet, of course. Then we will identify where I think the biggest growth is going to be. Now, what we got here is the amount of money. So back in March, we saw $7.8 billion going into the crypto markets, which is crazy. So what we can see on the right-hand side is all the biggest funds. So Coinbase Ventures, and then you got all of the different ones. Now, all of these will have their own narrative on what they think is the best place to be investing in. Now, what we can see down below is each of these different funds and the amount of investment they've got in different areas. Now, DeFi seems to be pretty much leading the charge across all markets. And that's because DeFi is probably one of the older areas of crypto development going forward, and is definitely one of the most necessary, in my opinion, going forward as well. What else we see coming down below is GameFi. Now, many people are not paying attention to gaming and GameFi right now, but it's probably where we're going to see the most adoption, because it's probably the most natural fit, along with DeFi, into cryptocurrency. The rest of the stuff is much more difficult to understand. And I told you before, like, if you try and explain to your mum or one of your friends exactly why you want to play a video game to make some money, and then you pay a bit of money and then you can, basically play with people around the world, it's fairly easy to understand. Most people can explain that, and the people you explain to can also understand it. However, I'd like to see you try and explain liquidity staking derivatives, or LSDs. I'd like to see you try and explain various other yield farming and things like this. very, very complex to explain to most people who are already involved in crypto. GameFi, much more simple, much more straightforward. This is mass adoption. I think it's going to happen first in the likes of GameFi. So coming down below, what more information can we find out? Now we can see monthly fundraising categories, right? And you can see what's going on here. Blockchain infrastructure, again, GameFi creeping in here. So we are pretty confident that GameFi is a niche we need to be paying attention to. But before you just, click off this video and go and watch someone eating vast quantities of food or talking about watches or whatever it is you like to watch, guys, no judgment here. We are gonna think about how we can find out what these companies are looking at. So let's come back up to this area here. We've obviously got our individual breakdowns. Now, what I'm looking at, GameFi, I told you I like the look of. So what I'm looking at is who's playing biggest into GameFi. I've got Animoca Brands, whatever you want to call it, right? Here we are, Animoca Brands. Let's click on Animoca Brands. Here we can see that 47% of their main investment is in GameFi. And what have we got down below? We have got all of the things that they are investing in. And what we can see here is all the co-investors, all the people who are getting on board with this company to invest into GameFi. Now, that doesn't have to confuse us too much, right? We can pay attention to it if we want, but a lot of these are just smaller venture capital, right? They don't have such a big punt as everyone else. So what we'll do is we'll come down below and you can see a few other bits and pieces. Now, these are the things that they are actually investing in. And you can see how recently they've been investing in them. So Transact, date 30th of May, raised 20 million, okay? And you can see it's in a blockchain service. But we're not interested in that. We're interested in GameFi. So what we're going to do, we come down the list. We've got the first GameFi here, guys, Universe, okay? However, no information on the fundraising here. Like, you can probably go around and dig out and find it, but, I don't care. I'm not going to bother wasting our time on that right now, guys. We can do it later on. There's enough of this in here, and you can get deep into the depths. And if you want to get really deep into the weeds on these projects, guys, and you want me to basically do all of this research for you and get updates all the time on when big whales are making purchases, as well as that, when venture capital is funding certain projects and which projects are getting funded right now, well, then you need to get into my inner circle, which is linked down below. Get into the Telegram group, free Telegram group. From there, ask for the inner circle. Literally today, tomorrow, we're going to be moving across to a Discord. I'm going to have most of these tools built in so that we're getting alerts from all of this happening all the time. Literally for $9.99 per month. Can't emphasize enough why that's so important. There's a ton of experts in there. A lot of these guys are super knowledgeable, far more knowledgeable than me, and they are loving the community that's growing there, guys. This week's been absolutely booming, and we might have to increase the price soon. So if you want to lock in $9.99 for life, then go through the link down below and get started on that ASAP. Anyway, back to it, guys. We now come down to this first one we got here. In IntelliX, okay? Unknown, $12 million GameFi. Let's click on IntelliX. Now I can see it's been through various different funding rounds, okay? And you can see some of the investors here. Magic Eden, huge player, okay? NFT space, Solana space. Polygon Fund. Wow, guys, there's some big names in here, okay? Once you start to identify who a few of these big names are, Animoca Brands, obviously, the one we've just been looking at, loves a bit of GameFi. Then we can start to identify that these companies that know exactly what they're talking about, far more than what I know and far more probably than what you know, then, we're on to a potential winner. So let's go and find out a little bit more about what this project is about. What we've got on the right-hand side is wallets, socials, and various others. So what we're going to do first of all is click on Twitter. So we're just going to copy the name on IntelliX. We're going to come across to twitterscore.io, and then we can see not the most exciting Twitter score in the world, okay? Not huge amounts growing here. But they're following projects like Magic Eden. They're followed by certain influencers. You can see they're also followed by some venture capital, okay? So we can pay attention to the venture capital. We can see the Twitter score creeping up over time, which is obviously very positive. We've got more information on who else has been involved in this particular project, as well as the top followers in the ecosystem. So we've already ticked a few boxes. We know that this is GameFi. We know GameFi is going to be a hot area to invest in because lots of big money is investing in GameFi right now. No brainer. We can understand the narrative. Even if you don't understand the narrative, maybe have to go and do a bit more research. So IntelliX, making Web3 gaming easy. Now, guys, before everyone jumps in my comments and tells me I'm advertising this, I'm not associated with IntelliX at all. Literally, this is the first day I've ever seen it, okay? So let's look at the website. Making Web3 gaming easy. This also fits into another nice narrative right now. Web3 is getting heavily invested in by China. That's another very big tick in the box. So Web3 gaming. ticks some nice narratives for me. This is important. We need to get through and see what more we've got to learn. Crypto wallet for blockchain gaming. Access all of the Intel X services and features right in your hand. Features include DEX, NFT marketplace, launchpad, bridge, blah, blah, blah. Nice, okay? So this is going to be a nice handy wallet for you to pay attention to all of your gaming. So everyone who's going to be playing blockchain gaming in the future, which will be a lot of people, not necessarily me, not necessarily you, but lots of people will be playing it, will need to have a wallet where they can manage their tokens and things for different games. Because you're playing one game and maybe you need to cash out and move it across to another game, whatever, this is going to be the way you're going to do it through a wallet like this. We can then come down below and see the gaming ecosystem, mobile games, PC games, all sorts of different genres. Now, as you know, I love this, guys. This is a very key metric. What we can see is the growth of gaming since like the 70s till now, current day. Blockchain games, $67.4 billion 2026. I've already talked about this on the channel, why gaming is so massive. Mobile gaming has come out of nowhere, is absolutely exploding. I think it's also taking away a bit from PC gaming, console gaming, which remained fairly consistent since like 2006. Mobile gaming, you can see, is the area of the market that's exploding, and blockchain gaming is kind of taking a lot of mobile gaming away from it, which is obviously good, okay? So this is very cool because it's focusing on PC a little bit, but more towards mobile gaming. You can see that it's also starting to launch its own games. Come down below, guys. Who are the partners? Wow, what a list of some incredible partners. Security audited. We've got all of the stuff here, guys. I'm not telling you that this is a project you need to buy in. This is not me doing a review of Intel X. But literally, maybe I'm just, lazy and I haven't been reading enough into crypto that I don't know what Intel X is. If I'm lazy, guys, and you definitely know what it is, tell me down below what you think of it. But right now, I found a project which is getting great investment from some of the biggest venture capital going, and I've got an opportunity to maybe invest in a project very, very early stages that's doing something in GameFi, which is about to see mass adoption, with Web3, which is about to see huge investment from the world's second biggest economy. And yeah, crazy. Let's see. And whether or not I can invest in this, I'm not sure, guys. But if you go through that list, you're going to find one that's about to have an ICO or initial coin offering, and you're going to be able to buy some tokens at a fraction of the price. And from there, you're going to be able to make some insane gains. Like if you followed in the inner circle and you managed to buy Tenet at pre-sale, like I did, for 0.02 cents. And from 0.02 cents, despite currently being down a little bit after the last couple of weeks, you would currently be up an 8x. And this is the second week that this coin has been live. 2 weeks and 8x, okay? If you sold the top, you would have got a 17x. I do believe that Tenet is going to continue higher. It's going to be one of the most exciting projects this year, guys. And if you want to be involved in future opportunities to be able to make 8x's, 10x's in literally the first week, getting that inner circle, can't stress it enough, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video and found it useful, something you've not seen before. If you did, let me know down below. If you don't like it, let me know down below. Doesn't really matter, guys. If you don't like it, then also happy to hear feedback as well. Hit the like button, guys. If you're new to the channel, you want to find out more about what I'm investing in, how I'm doing it, then make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye-bye.